Hey everybody, welcome back. This might be a bit of a long one. I want to talk about my all-time favorite fragrance. This one is very polarizing. People love it. People hate it. There's generally no in between, and with good reason. If you love it, you love the smell. If you don't, you hate it. Hate it. There it is. The one, the only, the great Fahrenheit. Oh, Fahrenheit. I'm wearing it today because I wanted to do this video, so I wore it, and man. You know, if here's the, oh, that's fucking juice just comes out. Dior always has good atomizers on their thing. They make, like I said, they were probably, as I said before, they're my favorite house, them or Yves Saint Laurent. Yves Saint Laurent makes opium. Just great. What's the other one? Rive Goucher or something like that. Really another nice one, manly scent. Anyway, get on to this one here. Here's the story. I think it was about 13. No, 14, first year of high school. And up until then, the only cologne, my sister's a couple years older than me. Boys used to wear the Polo a lot, so I thought that was cool and everything, and I could never afford it. We weren't, it's part of the reason I buy so many now, I think, is because I can actually afford them. And I always wanted them as a kid, you know, and I could never afford them. I always had cologne, but, you know, and nice stuff, just not expensive stuff. You know, I had Chaps by Ralph Lauren, Preferred Stock by Cody, Gravity by Cody. A lot of Cody stuff because it was in the drugstores, only $10, $15. And they were good stuff. Like I said, Preferred Stock's another one of my favorites. I know that doesn't get any, seems to get any talk online, but it was a good one. It was patchouli based, heavy, but anyway, that's not what we're getting into. I'll get into that one too eventually. I just wanted to tell you the story of this. So I was about 14, like I said, first year of high school. You know, and all I've ever really worn was, like I said, Preferred Stock, and, you know, well, pretty much it. Preferred Stock was pretty much it. Gravity a little bit and stuff like that, but standing at the lockers, I was hanging with a buddy of mine in school, of course, and he was a couple years older. It was my first year. It was his last year, and he had to repeat, so he was a good 3-4 years older. He was 17, 18 years old, and he was getting ready. He was taking the rest of the day off to go hang with a girl. So he opens up his locker and he puts on a fresh shirt. He was a ladies' man, you know. And bang, bang, he puts on a couple sprays of this stuff. And I'm down the other end. The lockers were about 10, 11 feet apart. Jeez, what is that? That smells fucking great, man. He says, oh, that's Fahrenheit. I said, what? He said, Fahrenheit. He said, I just got it. He said, my older brother at the time used to wear it when I was a kid. His older brother was 7 or 8 years older than him, at least, maybe 10. And he said, he gave me it. And I was like, wow, because this is like 95-ish. I'm like, wow, that stuff is, that's potent, man. And I instantly loved it. And that's the thing with Fahrenheit, is there's no in between. I find you either instantly love it or you instantly hate it. You know, people, oh, it smells like gasoline. It smells like gasoline. Yes, it does. It has a very petrol vibe right off the top. And it does last the whole whole pretty much longevity of the cologne. But it's so fucking beautiful. It's just, once that initial blast, 15 minutes, 10 or 15 minutes of, and that's the lavender in it, I think, that just gives it that. And it's potent lavender, boom, 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 right in your face, right? This petrol gasoline, which I don't even mind. I mean, I kind of like it, but I can understand why people hate it. I can. Unlike Sauvage, where I don't understand how people can hate that cologne, I can understand why you don't like this one. You either do or you don't. I get it. I'm one of the lucky ones, I think, that just love it. The wife loves it. Most of the girlfriends, I can't really think of any girlfriend I've had over the years before the wife, of course, that didn't like it. I have one friend who didn't like it, which is funny because he liked it at first. He even bought a bottle, and as he wore it on for a little while, it didn't do anything for him. He didn't like it. Then he got a girlfriend who eventually became his wife, and she didn't like it at all. So he just gave me his bottle. So I ended up with 2 bottles, which was good because I had 2 bottles. I mean, it was my favorite cologne. It was expensive, still expensive. It was expensive back then too, especially when you're working for fucking minimum wage. And that says a lot about a cologne when you're working. At the time, it was like $6 an hour, $7 an hour. Shit was $150 with tax. $150 some dollars. Still is really. I mean, a little cheaper, but not much. And yeah. Anyway, this is the original bottle that he gave me. I ran out of my big bottle that I bought at the time. I'll have to get some more. I'm about half out, as you can see. Another big bottle of this shit. I'll never be without this stuff. I got the deodorant, the body wash. That came with the set that I bought with the cologne and the aftershave. And that set was expensive, man. Like I said, it came with a big bottle body wash. I don't have the body wash anymore. I use that up. Came with a deodorant stick, and that's almost gone now. The aftershave, I've still got probably 80% of it because I don't generally use that as an aftershave. I do use aftershaves, but I tend to like classic stuff like Old Spice, Aqua Belva, but that's another story. Yeah, man, I just love this stuff. I do. And that's the story anyway. When I got it, it always stayed with me for them first few years, when I smelled on him. And I always wanted to get a bottle, and I could never afford it. We didn't have a lot of money. Not that we were poor. We just didn't have money for, needless things like $150 bottle of cologne. We weren't poor. It's just, it wasn't on our budget. So I got my first job, like I said, making $6, $7 an hour. I can't remember what minimum wage was back then. Wasn't any more than 7. I'm probably closer to 6. And my very first paycheck, I'm 18 years old. Last year of high school, my very first paycheck. I spent it all on a bottle of this. And didn't regret. I had to wait another 2 weeks before I could wear it out. Because I had no money to go anywhere because I bought it. And I wore it every day to work. Every day. Too much of it. Quite honestly. I choke a few people out. Which is, again, this is a newer formulation, I think. Because it doesn't last as long as the one I got. Not that this is bad, but the one I had. Let's get into that now. Longevity. The first bottle I ever bought was, I think, probably the first or second reformulation. I don't know. I don't get into reformulations a lot because I don't think they make that much of a difference, but this one really did. It lasted on me, the bottle I bought, and I just put on too much. So I'm not even going to go into that. I put on like 5, 6 words of this shit the first couple times I wore it. Oh my God. Near kill people. Choke them right out. Just fucking rear naked, fucking Fahrenheit choke. It'd be a fucking UFC wrestling move. But yeah, no, it lasted. Once I toned it down, 2 or 3 squirts, before work. And I learned to put this shit on a good half hour before you went anywhere. Because that initial petrol vibe, violet, lavender, whatever it is, just, boo. Yeah. I love it. A lot of people didn't. So, but they loved it after that. A lot of people did. So I put it on a good half hour, 40 minutes before I go to work. And, it's an 8-hour shift. You get there a half hour early, you don't get home right away. So, time I got home, it was still, wasn't projecting very much, but it was still on me. That's 9.5 hours later, basically. This new one that I got from my buddy, he got a few years ago, and it's still older than there's a couple reformulations in, so I don't know what the new stuff is like. But this formulation here was, only got about 6 hours out of it. 6.5. Which is still fine. I mean, get you through your day mostly. I don't find you have to wait that half hour either to put it on anymore. You can put it on pretty much go. Because that violet, whatever, petrol vibe doesn't last that long anymore. Like I said, 10 minutes or so. That initial blast. But it still projects really well. I want to say that. I get about 3 hours solid projection out of it. A good arm's length away. Then it comes in a little bit, you get about a foot, and that lasts a couple hours, and then it kind of becomes a skin scent after that for a couple hours. But that's your 6.5 hours right there. Easy. What can I say? I just love this stuff, guys. I really do, and I know some people don't, and that's fine. Like I said, everybody's different, but I just love this stuff. I always have, always will. I will always have a bottle of this. Man, he's going to bury me with a bottle of this. This is just my stuff. I don't wear it as much anymore. I think just because you get, well, first off, you get too many colognes. I mean, people who, chances are if you're watching this, you've probably got a few dozen bottles of cologne, if not more. I know I've got 170 something. So, yeah, I mean, but this stuff is my juice, man. This is my juice. This is the stuff that I will, and people will talk about, I've talked about it a couple times before, about seasonal scents. Summer, winter, fall, which I can see. And if I was going to classify, this is definitely a late fall, winter scent. It's heavy. It projects well in the cold. It lasts a while. But it's fine for summer too. I was talking about that on one of the Facebook groups a while ago. That I put a spray of this on the other day. Well, not the other day, but 2 weeks ago. And spray and a half, because you can kind of control that. And the wife was like, I like that. That works. What's that? And I was like, well, that's my Fahrenheit. She goes, you wearing that in the summer? She was surprised because I love her to death. She indulges in all of my crazy passions. I collect cologne. I collect action figures and comic books and, I gym equipment and just, shaving equipment. I shave with the old razors and blades and whatnot. Anyway. And she's never once judged me on it, man. She's great. Get yourself a woman like that, guys. No matter how crazy your dreams are or your passions, she'll never judge you. She might judge you when you're not around to herself, but she'll never tell you it's stupid. Get a lady like that. Don't worry about it. I mean, if she happens to be a beautiful woman like my wife, great. If she's not even, if you don't find her, you just don't judge her on her looks. Get a woman that is just loves you for you. Anyway, besides the point. She should wear it more often in the summer. It works. So what I would say is something like this or classic winter scents, whatever you want to call winter scent is. You can wear them in the summer. You can wear what you want when you want. Just tone it back a bit. Instead of putting on 3 or 4 sprays of a strong winter cologne, put on a spray or 2. And in the summer, it'll project, it'll be nice. There is another one, Fahrenheit Aqua, I believe it's called. I've never smelled it, but apparently that's really good in the summer. It's kind of like a lighter version. You might want to give that a try if you want to wear it in the summer. But yeah, this video is getting a little long, I know, but I really wanted to talk about it. As far as smell goes, like I said, initial just, I don't know what it is, lavender, violet, I don't know, but it's got a gasoline. That's no joke. A petrol vibe. It doesn't smell like gas, but it's got that vibe to it, you know, that feeling. But then it dries down. And it's sandalwood and just all this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stuff. And it lasts forever. Anyway, guys, give it a try if you haven't tried it. It's everywhere. You can pick it up everywhere. It's still expensive. You might be able to get it online, eBay, things like that, cheaper. Try to get a decant if you haven't, a sample. Something to try it if you haven't tried it. You're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. I fall into the category that loves it. It's my favorite of all time. It always will be. I can't imagine anything replacing it. The closest one, again, would probably be Sauvage or Opium. Would be the only two that would come close to it right now, and I can't imagine anything replacing it. And it's just a cool bottle, and it's got a good atomizer. It's just beautiful, guys. Fucking beautiful. And more ladies love it than hate it. A lot of guys, it's like a 50-50 with men. They love it or they hate it. More ladies tend to love it. Especially if you're a little older like me, you're in your 30s, maybe your 40s, even your 50s. This stuff, ladies that age, boom. Love it. They remember it. They love it. Oh, beautiful. Anyway, guys, sorry about the length of the video. I know it was long. It's one of my favorites. I had to talk about it. Peace out, guys. Have a good one.